Hello and welcome to Yoga by the Moon. I'm here to guide you through a first quarter moon positioned in Aquarius for October 29th, 2025. And my name is Michelle. So pleased to have you join me today. First quarter moons are all about allowing the intentions we just set at the new moon the previous week to start to take shape, to take actionable steps towards making them become reality. This particular first quarter moon is positioned in Aquarius, and Aquarius is known as the innovator. So it ignites our creative spark. It asks us to think outside the box, to maybe find new ways to allow these dreams to take shape, to become reality. Aquarius is also a very communal sign. It's one of the most sociable signs of the zodiac. And so we seek connection with our community, whoever that may be, whoever may be involved in that, the people that we surround ourselves with. We reach out to them for aid, for advice, to hear their thoughts also igniting social creativity. This particular season that we are embarking on also is Scorpio season for the zodiac. And so while this particular moon's positioned in Aquarius, it's happening during Scorpio season, which brings out a very interesting balance to this particular first quarter moon. Scorpio is very introspective, very seeking everything within. It's still a very creative sign. Creativity is another big theme with Scorpio, but Scorpio asks us to meditate, journal, whatever we need to do to listen to that inner voice, to tune in to ourselves and hear what our inner self is telling us is the right way to tap into our creativity. So it's a very interesting balance. This particular first quarter moon then is asking us to strike a balance between hearing those outward voices, that outward advice, that outward help, that outward creativity, and tuning in to our own inner voices, our own inner knowing. And then by finding a balance between those things to allow our dreams to take shape, the first quarter moon will illuminate the path forward to making those dreams become reality. And so we will tune outward and inward. We will be a little creative in our flow today and just strike a balance with everything. It'll be a fun, but gentle and moving practice. So I hope you will join me. We will start on the mat, sitting on our knees. So you will come up, standing up on your knees like so, and sit back on your heels. If this isn't accessible to you, or this is uncomfortable in your knees or in your quads or in your calves, and you need to create a little space, you can find a block or a pillow and stick it underneath your tailbone to create some space there. Whatever you need to kind of tune in this position. You can rest your hands on top of your thighs if that's comfortable. Keep your hands at prayer, at your heart, wherever feels good to you, wherever feels right, as we just tune in and become present in the mat. Now, the breath work that we are going to start our practice with is simply known as double breathing. And it is what it sounds like. You're going to inhale twice and exhale twice on each breath. And I'll explain it a little bit more. This particular breath is very energizing and invigorating for the body. So it allows us to stimulate all of those muscles and those fibers to kind of have that get you going kind of mentality to embark on making our dreams take shape, embark on taking these actionable steps. this particular breath also ignites the creative parts of our brain so that we can allow that creativity to come to us when we tap into ourselves, to know where that creativity wants to take us. So I'll explain the breath, demonstrate it once, and then we will do 3 together. So first we will inhale once short through the nose, then pause, and then take a long inhale through the nose. And then we will exhale once short through the mouth, pause, and then take a long exhale through the mouth. And we will circle through that 3 times together, but this one will be my demonstration for you. So it's inhale, pause, inhale, exhale, pause, exhale. Let's do 3 together. Inhale, pause, inhale, exhale, pause, exhale. Inhale short, pause, inhale long. Exhale short, pause, exhale long. Last one like that. Inhale short, pause, inhale long. Exhale short, pause, exhale long. Now take just a couple moments here in silence, tuning into your own natural rhythm of your breath now, arriving into yourself, into this moment. On your next inhale, you're going to raise your right arm up to the sky. Bring it across to your left knee as you reach your left arm around behind you. Grab, kind of lifting, keeping your chest lifted up with your hand propped up behind you as you twist to the left and look over your left shoulder if it's accessible. Just a gentle twist to get us moving. One more breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to unwind to center. And on our inhale, raise your left arm to the sky as you bring your right arm behind you. Exhale, bring your left hand to your right knee. Twist over, looking over your right shoulder. Twists are always a gentle way to stimulate our body and begin to tune in to ourselves. One more breath in. And as you breathe out, come back to center and unwind. Now you may want to bring your knees out in front of you just for a moment. We're going to do a pose called cow face, but we're only going to do the legs portion of it, just to kind of open through the hips a little bit. We're going to take our right foot and kind of make a triangle with your knee in front of you, your right heel towards the outside of your left hip, wherever is comfortable and accessible to you. And then we are going to cross our left knee on top of our right, creating that triangle once again. This time your left heel on the outside of your right hip, creating triangle with your legs to your body. This is very intense. It can be very uncomfortable. If you have a lot of space between your knees, do not worry. If you need to back off or if you need to just sit cross-legged for this, you are more than welcome to do that. Please tune into your own body. But this is a nice hip opener, because when we can release through our hips, we can get those emotions out of the way so we can better tune into our inner selves, our inner knowing. Just breathe. You elongate those exhales. Put a little signal to your hips to release and find gentleness and find ease. One more breath in. And as you breathe out, gently, slowly unwind those legs. Now maybe you want to just kind of windshield wiper those knees in front of you just for a moment, kind of resetting through those hips. Back to center. Now this time we are going to take our left foot, cross it so that our left heel comes to the outside of our right, and then stack that right leg on top with the right knee on top of the left, right heel outside the left hip. You might notice that this side is a little different than the other. Maybe your knees are closer, maybe they're farther away. Our hips tend to not be fully in balance with one another, and that is perfectly normal and perfectly okay. Again, if it's too intense for you, maybe you just wish to be cross-legged with the other leg on top this time. Wherever you are, tune into your breath. Elongate those exhales to signal your body to release. As I had mentioned a little bit before, we tend to store our emotions in our hips, and doing release like that may allow those emotions to bubble up. If they do, let them. Let them come. Let them pass through you so that you can release and tune into what's behind it. One more breath in. As you exhale, unwind once again. Maybe you want to windshield wiper those legs 1 or 2 times on each side. Once again, to kind of reset. And when you're ready, we're going to straighten those legs out in front of us. Sitting nice and tall, chest lifted. Flex through those feet so you have some activation energy in those feet. And on an inhale, raise your arms up to the sky. And as you exhale, keeping a long spine, gently fold forward. Maybe you keep your hands at your shins. Maybe you reach your ankles. Maybe you grab the tops or sides of your feet. But wherever you are, don't round through the spine. Keep that lifted spine, pulling that chest through. This isn't about how close we can fold forward. This is about stretching and releasing through the back of the legs. And the longer and taller we can keep our spine and the more we can pull our chest through, the more we allow that release in the back body. Once again, if you extend those exhales, it'll allow you deeper release. Maybe you notice your body slowly being able to reach or inch ever so slightly more forward while keeping that spine nice and long. One more breath in. As you exhale, come on back up. And this time we are going to make our way to all fours, hands and knees position, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, nice flat back, neutral neck. On an inhale, we are going to drop our bellies towards the mat, looking up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, round through that spine and tailbone, looking down at the mat. Take a few more rounds of cat-cow in your own breath, finding movement and micro movements that feel good to you, to allow you to start to move in your own body. Wherever you are, one more in each direction. And on your next breath, come back to neutral tabletop. We're going to walk our hands slightly forward, come up onto our toes. Inhale. And as you exhale, lift your tailbone to the sky, coming up, trying to bring your heels towards the mat, but if they are up high, that is fine. It is, after all, our first downward dog of the practice. Maybe you want to pedal those heels. Maybe you want to find some stillness as you press into your hands, press down into your heels, lifting that tailbone up. Maybe you want to shorten the distance of your down dog just a little bit. And on your next inhale, we're going to reach our left hand towards our right shin, looking under our right shoulder in a downward dog twist. We won't stay here too long, but this is a nice creative way to twist. A nice active pose. One more breath in. As you breathe out, unwind back to center. And this time, reach your right hand to your left shin as you pull your chest through and look under your left shoulder. Downward dog twist. One more breath in. As you breathe out, come back to center. And we're going to inhale our right leg to the sky. Exhale as many steps as you need. Bring that right foot between your hands. Spin your left heel back towards the back right of the mat, stepping down onto that foot flat, bending through your right knee as we rise on up. Right arm comes forward, left arm goes back, sink into that front knee. Warrior two. On your next breath in, reach your left arm back down your left thigh. Right arm comes up and overhead as we reverse. Two more like that. Inhale to warrior two. Exhale, reverse warrior. One more. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse warrior. Hold this reverse just for another breath cycle. On your next inhale, straighten through that front leg and reach your arms in that warrior two position. On an inhale, lean forward, reaching with that right hand, keeping a long, tall spine. And when you can no longer reach forward without bending through your spine, just tilt your arms down into keeping that T position. Maybe you just grab at your shin. Maybe you want to bring that pillow or block to the mat. Maybe you want to reach your hand all the way to the mat. But wherever you are, keep that spine nice and tall, nice and open. Don't lock through that right knee. You don't want to cause any joint issues. One more breath here in triangle. And as you breathe out, come on back up to center. This time, turn both toes forward, arms to cactus. Inhale. And as you exhale, squat down into goddess squat. Inhale, reach your arms up now. Exhale down to goddess. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, up. Exhale, goddess, and hold. Just for a couple breaths. One more breath in. Raise those arms up to the sky. Turn your right toes to the back of your mat now, and then your left toes to the back as well. And bend through that left knee now. Left arm forward, right arm back. Warrior two on the other side. Once you get situated in that warrior two, reach that right hand down to your right thigh. Left arm comes back, up and overhead. Reverse. 2 more like that. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Hold here for 1 breath cycle. On your next breath in, straighten through that left leg. Bring the left hand forward, right arm back once again. And now tip through that left side, reaching. And when you can no longer reach before your spine starts to dump, then just kind of tilt down, reaching for the floor, your shin, that block, wherever you are, keeping that tall spine nice and lifted in this triangle pose. One more breath in. Now as you breathe out, turn towards your left foot and step your right to meet your left. Coming into mountain pose. Just take a breath or two here, arriving in your mountain. Hands positioned however you need. Shoulders back and down, chest lifted. Tuning into your breath. Tuning in to how you feel right now. On your next breath in, sweep those arms up overhead in a sun sweep as you come up on your tippy toes. Exhale, everything comes down. 2 more like that. Inhale, sweep those arms up overhead as you come up on your tippy toes. Exhale, down. 1 more. Inhale, up. Reach as tall as you can up on those tippy toes. And exhale, everything comes down. Take 1 breath here in mountain. And then on an exhale, sit those hips back like you're sitting in a chair as you raise those arms up overhead. Inhale, sweep those arms up behind you as you straighten your legs and come up on your tippy toes. 2 more like that. Exhale, back into chair. Bring those heels down. Inhale, up on your tippy toes, arms come back. Exhale, chair. Arms up, heels down. Last one. Inhale, sweep those arms back, come up on those tippy toes. Exhale, down into chair. 1 more breath here in chair. Exhale, cross those arms. Hang that head down in ragdoll pose. Stretching through the back of those legs. Maybe you want to find stillness. Maybe you just want to reach to the mat in a forward fold. Maybe you want to rock side to side. Find a little movement. Tune into your inner knowing to allow your body creativity and freedom to do what feels right to you. Tune into your breath. Tune into yourself. On your next breath in, bring those hands to the mat wherever you are, keeping a nice generous bend in those knees. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. As you plant those hands, bring those knees back under your hips into tabletop once again. On an inhale, lift that right leg so it's parallel with your spine. Exhale, bring that foot as many steps as you need between your hands, keeping your left knee down on the mat. We're going to keep our hands down, but lift through that chest into a kneeling low lunge. Stretching through that left hip flexor, the front of that left thigh, and the back of that right thigh. in a kneeling lunge. Inhale. As you exhale, bring those hips back, keeping your legs as they are, straightening through that right leg in a half splits. You should feel a nice stretch in the back of that right hamstring. Breathe. Now we're going to transition between that kneeling lunge and half splits 3 times together. On a breath in, come forward into kneeling lunge. Exhale, half splits. Inhale, kneeling low lunge. Exhale, back, half splits. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, come up, and this time as you exhale, kind of heel toe that right foot across the front of the mat and come down onto that right hip, crawling that left leg back, situating however you need to be in your version of pigeon. As you notice, my shin is nowhere close to parallel to the front of the mat, and that is okay. What is important is that your hips are square as they can be to the front of the mat, and that you are feeling a nice stretch in the front of that left thigh and then the outer part of that right thigh. Going to stay up here in proud pigeon for this hip release. And if it feels accessible or right to you, maybe you want to come down onto those elbows, or maybe you want to come all the way down, folding forward into a sleeping pigeon. Just taking a couple more breaths of release. One more breath in. As you breathe out, come back on up front to the center, and then just make your way back into tabletop to transition to the other side. Inhale, now your left leg comes parallel to your spine. Exhale, bring that left foot between your hands, as many steps as you need to get there. Stay back on that right knee. Drop through those hips, come lifting your chest while you keep your hands maybe tented on the mat in a nice kneeling low lunge. Inhale, and on your next exhale, lift those hips up and back as you straighten through that left leg, keeping your legs where they are into half splits, stretching through the left hamstring. Breathe. Once again, we are going to transition between our kneeling lunge and half splits 3 times. So on your next inhale, crawl forward, low lunge, up, chest lifted. Exhale, hips up and back, half splits, surrender. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half splits. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half splits. On an inhale, come up, and this time crawl your left foot heel toe over to the right side of the mat as you drop into that left hip, squaring those hips forward. Maybe you have to inch that right leg back. Keep your chest lifted in proud pigeon. Stretching through that outer left hip, that front right hip flexor. Breathe. If you didn't do it on the other side, but you wish to over here, maybe you drop down to your elbows, or maybe you come all the way down once again in sleeping pigeon. Just take a couple more breaths here of surrender. Tuning into yourself and that inner knowing, allowing that energy of Scorpio to take hold. Breathe. One more breath in. As you breathe out, come on up all the way, and this time we're going to swing our right leg forward, and maybe we just sit cross-legged. Maybe you come back up on to those shins in hero as we did in the beginning. And wherever you are, softly close those eyes, or maybe have a gentle, soft gaze. But we're going to just do a brief meditation and tune into ourselves for this particular first quarter moon in Aquarius. Arrive in whatever seat you chose. Tune into yourself and breathe. Now imagine with each inhale you take, new ideas and perspectives flow into you through the crown of your head. Exhaling releases resistance to change. Now imagine you have wings. Birds are an animal of Aquarius, as they represent awakening, which Aquarius is the great awakener. Aquarius is an air sign, and birds soar on the air. And now you become one with the birds. You lift higher and higher, moving above all of your familiar scenery, everything that is around you. But it grows smaller and smaller as you lift higher and higher. With this new perspective, things that had bothered you or worried you or felt so big and like hurdles now seem small, so you can release them. You now feel lighter and you can soar higher. Your vision fills with a grander plan, and it inspires hope and creativity and love in your heart. Your eyes open to possibility around you. Now you start to descend. Things become larger once again, and the scenery becomes more familiar once again. And even though the things around you have not changed, your view of those things has. You're open to new ideas. You're uplifted with vision. You have hope, introspection, joy, creativity. And you know that carrying this vision forward will bring abundance into your life. And as you bring this energy forward and you embark on the path of the first quarter moon, you allow this moon to illuminate the path forward, inspired by your hope, inspired by your perspective, inspired by your vision. Aquarius and Scorpio and this first quarter moon will all work together to guide you on the path ahead and allow it to unfold before you. Take one more breath in, soaking in this new invigorating promise. And exhale, release any last lingering doubts or worries. when you're ready, slowly begin to bring some movement to your body. Maybe you want to take some hip circles. Maybe you want to stretch through your neck a little bit. Maybe you want to just stretch through your arms or your shoulders. Whatever feels good to you, whatever feels right. If your eyes were closed or had that soft gaze, gently open them and arrive here in this moment once again with me. I want to thank you for joining me in practice today for this first quarter moon. Our next practice will be for a full moon, so I am hoping you will continue to join me on this path of yoga by the moon and doing our yoga with the moon cycles. And from my heart to yours, namaste.